with Noah here, and here we are going to do the top 8 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Open Cash Championships preliminaries number 2 in our second season.
As we kick off this top 8, I'd like to thank all the viewers for sticking around with us all day. Our peak was over 250, which is amazing.
That was wonderful.
Amazing. Numbers like that, hopefully we can get some sponsorship with the stream from various, computer stores or card stores or card vendors who wish for additional advertising. So eventually we don't have to take any cuts out of the prize pool. So this prize pool will just get bigger and bigger and bigger. So yeah, thank you very much. I hope this keeps up. We love you guys. Love the support. And enjoy the top 8. It'll be me and Bowie throughout the top 8.
And yes, it will be. And we are going to be ready to go here, as we've got ourselves quite a barn burner today. Matt Vandenheuvel, Dustin Dalton, who's presiding from Brockville, but he tries to visit his brother every month in Oshawa. So he's going to make a commitment to actually try to get out to these YOCC because he's enjoying these events. And what a great way to start off your first YOCC by topping 8. Unfortunately, he's going to have to be pitted against Matt Vandenheuvel, who is no slouch and no stranger to the feature tables. So Dustin's going to open up with 2 back rows to start his turn. 3. And this is Shaddoll he's running. So Matt Vandenheuvel is running Quillforts, who topped 8 the last Toronto Regionals.
Top 8 of the last YOCC as well. Actually, the last 2 he top 4 and then won the one before.
Yeah, so he's definitely on fire.
Mr. Consistency.
He is. But not a lot of people know his name. But I heard, at least outside of Ontario, not a lot of people know him. Yeah. But they should.
Everyone in Ontario knows him.
Well, absolutely.
Everybody.
They know him now, for sure. So, Quillfort Scout.
Quillfort Scout. Oh.
It's hit with a Typhoon, so 800 out. But he has another summoner start, so
here it comes.
He can play another one. And he will. Oh, and it's finished a Shadow game. So he's going to definitely dump a dragon.
Right?
Yeah, it's on activation. Because if he activates it, change it to the Scout's effect, he'll still get the search.
Yep.
It's a bit of a delayed MST, so he's got to play it now. So he's going to dump Dragon. He doesn't want to dump a Squall Mata, just simply dumps Dragon, and that's going to burn the Scout. So he was ready. And that's the tricky thing, at least against Shaddoll's, is that they have more back row removals first turn than any other deck.
Well, this Dalton is Eric Dalton's brother.
It is.
They play quite a lot together. They test all the time. And I'm not surprised he's in top 8. Eric Dalton, another very, very, very consistent Ontario player.
Yes, he is.
Top 16 today, won the last event.
Fortunately, couldn't top 8 today, though. But his brother Dustin is doing very well in his place. But unfortunately for Dustin here, he's not even being able to crack any monsters to hit the board. He's just been setting back row after back row. And he's not running the artifact version either, so he has no real monster defense per se. So, Pot of Duality right out the top. It reveals a Book of Moon, Vanity's Emptiness, and a Mystical Space Typhoon. Oh, what to get?
What do you get with the creatures here?
Yes, what do you do indeed? It's a good question. So
Vanity is definitely the most powerful card in the pile.
It is, and definitely could stymie him a lot. So
yeah, that makes sense.
That's what he's going to get. Well, it makes sense. He doesn't need the Book of Moon or the Typhoon. There's nothing really threatening him offhand with the Typhoon or and then the Book of Moon he can go without it. Vanity just seems to be the best player. And he already burned a Typhoon and a Sinister Shadow games already, having to deal with the Scouts.
Yeah.
So odds are he may not have an answer to that, to the Vanity's Emptiness. So it was a good decision by him to go for that. So there's a Shaddoll core coming down now for Dustin Dalton.
I'll be right back. I'm going to get a deck list.
All right, sure. So we have the Vanity's Emptiness. Oh. So he plays Vanity's Emptiness to the Shaddoll core. And it's just going to keep it in its trap place. So he had 2 Vanity's Emptiness to deal with. Dustin playing it now thinking he didn't have Vanity's Emptiness already, but he already had a second one. So very sneaky indeed there by Matt Vandenheuvel to make that play. A Summoner Art going to come down. He's going to get another scout. Now that's going to get rid. Now it's going to activate Vanity's Emptiness and send it to the graveyard. So he activates the scout. He's going to pay this the 800. Doesn't look like Dustin has a response this time. And if he did, that would be a lot. So he gets a Cool 4 disc. Not surprising, considering he contribute that offer. Yep.
We got deck lists.
He can.
Okay, so what happened?
So he had his Summoner's Art.
Another one.
Yeah, he had his Summoner's Art and played
wow.
it. Destroyed his own vanities. He had another vanity set too, so he had 2 vanities. So Dustin's going to activate his own vanities to prevent Disc from being able to special summon 2 more. Now we all know that one of them is a Vanity's Emptiness on Matt Van Huel's side. We don't know what the other one is, so it don't look like we're going to see a double summon here. But he's going to be able to at least search with the Sacrifice.
Matt playing 2 Dust Tornado main deck. See if that comes into play.
That's very interesting indeed. So he gets a carrier to his hand from the Sacrifice. It looks like he might want to do a Pendulum Summon or something, but he can't do that right now, though. Because there's the Vanity's Emptiness is up there. So
what did he get with the scout?
He got a carrier.
Okay.
So now back to Dustin Dalton. And he's got his own vanities blocking him, so he can't even try to play a fusion card. But then again, he hasn't really had any monsters to play with.
I think he's had a pretty bricky hand.
Oh, yeah, I think he has Shaddoll. I see Shaddoll Beast in there at least. But now he's clearly, visibly winced here and doesn't know what he can do with this. He's just going to scoop it up because he just knows he doesn't have anything left to it. Unfortunately, he just had a terrible hand.
Really.
Just couldn't do anything. So Matt Van Heuvel quickly takes game 1.
So Matt is siding compulsory. 3 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, 1 Dust Tornado, a Climate Change, 3 Spell Shattering Arrow, I'm assuming that's for the mirror, 3 Maxi, and 3 Monarch Stoneforth. So if you were Matt, what would you be bringing in?
Well, definitely you got to bring in the Shadow Mirrors. That's an absolute must because that's what it's for.
I'm assuming the compulse against all of the
You can do the compulse because it's excellent. Yes, against the fusions. Yeah. Also, even if they just set a beast, especially if they tribute for a beast because it definitely takes them back. You can argue
maybe the climate change against fighting against all the.
If you do want to do climate change, you could.
It's good. It's good for when they bring in like all of the. Yeah. All of the big things that blow up all the back row and your scouts and. It's a good way to recover if you've gone through all the scouts. What does Dustin have here? I'm not familiar with Shaddoll, so why don't you read off this one?
Can't read off the Shaddolls there? Okay, he's got 3 Flying Sea you wouldn't want to use against a compulsory evacuation device. You could argue. Vanity's Emptiness he absolutely wants to do.
Yeah.
2 Breakthrough Skills I wouldn't. Bottomless you would. 3 Fairy ones are absolutely going in there because that's
probably just for that matchup.
Biggest cards that get hit. That you can use to hit the deck. Mind Control, you wouldn't want to. Honest, you could, just because of the Cold Fort matchup, because just in case they do run towers, that was their out. That was their out. And 2 Puppet Plants, but you want to do that. So what I'm seeing here is basically maybe an evac device, a Vanity's Emptiness for sure, and a Bottomless, and 3 Fairy ones. So a little more trap heavy in this situation.
Yeah, Matt is not playing towers.
He's not playing towers.
I feel like that's correct. I played with towers at regionals, and it just did not feel good. It was really awkward to get into play the majority of the time. So I kind of agree with his build on this one. So we'll see if he brings in Honest.
Yeah, because
I guess that would be the only real reason, right?
Yeah, for the most part, just because it's an out to towers, but he hasn't seen it yet anyway. So I don't know if he's actually going to side it in or not. So here we are on top 8 right now of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Open Cash Championships here. And we have Dustin Dalton versus Matt Van Heuvel. And Matt just took game 1, where Dustin just seemed to having a brick hand and really couldn't play out his deck so well.
Absolutely nothing.
Let's hope he gets better luck this time around, as he's probably going to like to go first. Is Matt playing Laser Quip? I don't think so.
I don't think
he is not.
No, he's not playing the field spell.
He's not playing the field spell.
Man, that card was MVP. I'm shocked he's not playing it. but he's doing success, I guess.
All right. So he's going to open up the Foolish Barrel here, and there's, of course, the multitude of plays you can do with Shaddoll's playing that. So he's going to go with the Hedgehog, a rather interesting one. Now he's got to figure out what he's going to search for that Hedgehog. He's going to get a Dragon. Interesting for the most part. Perhaps he could be carrying an L Shaddoll fusions for when Matt has to play any of the scouts or whatnot. So that's what that Dragon could be for, as to help act as another one. And sure enough,
that's some pretty good insight there.
And sure enough, he does have an L Shaddoll fusion in his hand. So he's got the Wiver Buster out, and he's going to play a Shaddoll fusion, and he's going to fuse it with a Beast. So he's going to get a Construct to dump it out. So he's going to make a big splashing start here. So the way he's going to want to build this chain is he's going to want that Beast to be chain link 1, the Wiver Buster chain link 2, and then the Construct has to be chain link 3. So he's going to dump the Falco. He's going to want to search out the Collapse Serpent, and then he's going to want to draw a card. That's how he's built this chain, and rightfully so. He's doing that right now. And then he gets to draw as his final thing. And then Falco will open up in a new chain and special summon that. So having a Falco special summon to the field with a Beast set is
it's a really strong start.
Very strong start for Shaddolls. And they love having the Falco set when there's a Beast in the graveyard. It's a great feeling. It speeds up the deck so much.
So many pluses. There's a Fairy Wind face down.
Yeah. And
what was the other one? L Shaddoll Fusion?
L Shaddoll Fusion.
Oh, wow.
As I said.
That's such an amazing start.
So yeah, he got that Dragon to make sure that he can at least bomb one of his back rows. Or bomb the Scout. Or anything that Matt has to set there. So
Dalton's look.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So Upstart Goblin comes down.
Warrior face. Ooh,
it's a very
big hit.
It's a very. He didn't hit that El Shaddoll Fusion though, which I don't know if that's what Matt wanted. So Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon.
I wonder if that's worth dragoning. Probably, maybe if he tries to activate it.
It will deck thin it.
It gets him a Scout.
But most times you would rather want to stop the actual threat of itself. From what I'm seeing, if I were Dustin, I would let it go, and I'd let him search whatever he needed to search.
Well, you do get the extra monster in play for your next turn for combat, and he can't use any of his traps right now. So that it may be correct. I don't know.
Well, if you take out the Scout now, that gives him less Scouts to be able to work with later on. So
it goes to his hand though, and then all of Matt's back row is live to try and protect it potentially.
But the only thing you want to consider is if you want to do that play, Matt can counter with a Vanity's emptiness of himself, and then stop that El Shaddoll Fusion to prevent him to be able to actually to destroy it.
Yeah, I think playing it here is correct because if he blows up the dragon can't be pendulum summoned back, so it forces Matt to find a Scout another way. At least if Matt activates, say he lets the dragon go through, he gets the Scout, gets to activate Scout, say he kills it, whatever. Goes to the pendulum, he can pendulum it back, or he can climate change it back as well.
Yeah.
So there's lines like that.
There's a multitude of reasons why you can decide to take it or not take it out. So it really is how comfortable you feel or what cards you have. So in this case, he's going to opt to try to destroy it now because he doesn't want it, maybe even a Vanity's Emptiness, being able to stop it if he does try to disrupt that play for his turn.
Yeah, that too.
So
that feels right.
So El Shaddoll Fusion and he gets a Beast. Just decides to dump the Beast to draw. Just deck thin and just not draw a dead card. So now Dustin's just staring down 3 back rows by Matt. And he probably got back the El Shaddoll Fusion as well, with the construct as well. So he really wants to keep recycling that, and for good reason. So there's the carrier, and he just passes.
Oh, that wasn't in phase.
Oh,
that was during main phase.
Hey, just did.
I guess on activation.
Yeah. No, he just summoned it and that's it.
Okay.
So there's the Falco gets flipped up now, and he's probably going to special summon the Beast, but he could get Construct because if
a lot of power.
If he does go with Construct, he's going to negate that. So he's going to, but he has a Typhoon, that Shadow Mirror, anticipating it.
That is clearly feeling that one.
And the thing here now is, too, he can get Beast, or he can even get a Construct, and then even use that Shaddoll Fusion to go into another Construct. If he chooses to. But he can also even go to Leo at this point in time, and they'll have a tough time trying to beat over Leo as well.
Leo's a really good card against this deck.
Absolutely.
If they can't get a 3300 or and in Matt's position, it's going to be really tough to get something that big, that quickly.
And Matt clearly wincing at that play, unhappy.
Yeah.
So let's see if he opts to go for the Beast or the Construct. So he goes for Construct.
Oof. It's a lot of power.
Yeah, we can't really hear what they're saying and targeting, so we can't tell what they're targeting. Sorry, guys. And Matt knows that he's staring down that Shaddoll Fusion. Like, he knows.
So does he? Oh no.
Oh,
wow.
no.
Wow,
Oh, no.
I didn't see that in his hand.
Oh, no. That's also going to cause a lot of trouble, too. And he's confident that Matt can't do anything in response to any of these when he attacks. So he takes it, and 3,000 again. He's going to make sure that if the effect is, do I have to destroy it and send it to the graveyard or not. But
All right.
unfortunately, he's going to have to find out the bad news.
Maybe the wording's just win a combat.
And then he knows that he has an Shaddoll Fusion as well to just
See what
finish up the
happens.
creme de la creme. But
Yep,
he's got to have
there
it.
it is.
Yeah, there's the vanity. So it was smart of Dustin, after all, to play that Shaddoll Fusion on the end phase of that Pendulum Dragon, Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, rather than waiting it for the Scout to come out afterwards. So good on Dustin to make that decision there.
Yeah.
But it's not actually a bad thing that he has to see the emptiness, because now Matt has to deal with this there with the possibility of not being able to
He's
have
pretty
anything,
locked
and he
out.
doesn't
Yep,
have
and
it.
that's it.
So it was a good lockdown. So
Another quick game.
it was indeed. So not the worst thing for Dustin to see that Vanity's emptiness, and as it turns out, Matt couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Locked down. So 2 quick games, one apiece goes to both men. Dustin Dalton versus Matt Vandenheuvel, and we're going to have to see a game 3. Dustin opened up really strong now, that game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I talked with Dustin's brother, Eric, when he won last time, and Eric beat Clifford's in the finals, beating Mark.
Mark Levine. Yes.
Mark Levine.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And I talked with him after, and I asked him how he approaches the matchup, and he's like, I have to be the aggressive deck.
Yes.
If I give the Clifford deck enough time, they'll just outswarm me. If I let their pendulum set up, if I let their scouts get active, it's too much. So he that's why they prefer the Wyvern Buster build.
Yeah.
Because it allows them to get those really, really fast draws.
Yeah, it does definitely generate a lot of speed and a lot of OTK power with it. And
Yeah.
it makes sense, because that's what those dragons do. Generate so much speed.
They've been having a lot of success with that build.
Yeah.
A lot of success.
And as we saw, we bring out those dragons and combine that with an Shaddoll Fusion, and then you snap quick victories just like that.
Yeah. Yep, so I guess while these guys are shuffling up, just want to remind everyone who is on the stream that is able to come. The next event is January 25th here at the same location. What I am going to do again for the Toronto players who cannot drive, I'm going to be looking into getting a bus from some young subway station by the 401, and yeah, we're going to get everyone here. So we start us off with a dragon and a carrier, end phase set 2, and go get a scout.
Presumably a scout. There it is.
See what Dustin's draw is like.
Let's see if
I
it's
see a lot of spell cards.
I see a Dark Arm Dragon. I think there's a Shaddoll Fusion and a Super Polymerization.
Oof.
If I'm reading that. And a Mathematician. Okay, so the Mathematician is at least a great start. But he's got a warning. So
I gotta play with that card again. I wasn't playing with that for a while.
that's unfortunate. So 2,000 for Matt out, but Dustin loses the Mathematician, which is really a big loss.
It's pretty backbreaking.
I mean, if Shaddolls can open up with Mathematician, it's big, and wow. And it's a good thing he did, because had he not stopped that Mathematician, he would have been able to summon that Dark Arm Dragon immediately.
Yep.
But now he's just reduced to 2 mills.
Yep, it's going to be a much slower game.
But what he can do is he can at least send a Squam out of the grave and then search a Hedgehog and then search for a Shaddoll and then set it as a defense. And then when it does hit the graveyard, he can go to Dark Arm Dragon because he is carrying that, and he's also carrying a super polymerization, so he can even go to Sheki Naga if he has to. So it's like Dustin still has plays. He just can't. He's just not a lot of offensive plays that he really wants to make right now.
Yeah.
Well, actually, he can search a dragon out and try to attack over the carrier, and he does carry super polymerization in case Matt has some sort of weird trick he can pull out. So, like, there are plays Dustin can make. It just all depends how aggressive does he want to be, because he's got that Dark Arm Dragon, and I'm pretty sure he wants to find a way to use it. So instead he's going to go with.
So why don't you get Squamata here? First in the deck.
I don't know why, but well, if he's choosing to get the Squamata, if he dumps that off by an effect, he's going to get that, and he's going to get the third dark anyway. So I guess in this case he doesn't want to use out your Squamatas because sometimes surprisingly Shaddolls can like run out of Shaddoll real fast. So you don't want to do that. But he's opting not to even set. Is he going to even set that?
Set what?
Set the Squamata, because that's the only monster you can set.
Nope.
So he's not going to. He just sets 3 back row and end.
Yeah, Dustin's only on 40 cards.
Oh yeah, he can't. Oh yeah, that's right. He couldn't have done it because he already summoned him also that turn. So he couldn't.
Oh right, yeah.
So he couldn't have done it. So.
Oh, it's good.
There's a Shaddoll fusion. So he's gonna
pitch the Dark Arm.
Dark Arm. So he's gonna bring out Window, the Scout, and Squamata is gonna activate. So he's sacrificed his Dark Arm Dragon, unfortunately. Bit of a shame, but
Yeah, get a Falco.
Shaddoll Dragon. No, it's a
it's a dragon?
Yeah.
Fair.
He doesn't want that Scout searching.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But he had to But it was unfortunate that he had to sacrifice his Dark Arm Dragon to do that. It was very unfortunate.
I think it's probably worth it.
So he chose carrier for carrier. Wow. To bounce that and bounces the window, and unfortunately now Dustin's just kind of left without nothing.
Yeah, I guess they're both kind of. Well, oh wow, he doesn't have a monster. Oh wow.
Summoner's Art.
If Dustin does not have anything for this Scout, I think Matt's going to take this game.
Yeah, he's already burned so many cards.
Yep, looks like he's going in.
Well, if he did have a Fairy Wind, I would almost want to let that go.
Really?
If I was Dustin, yeah, because let them set up even more. Let them burn their resources more, and then bomb them when they think they have the chance. And let them pay more life points too. Let them run out. At least.
Well, you do pay the 800.
Yeah, but I mean, like, but on the next turn they're going to pay again. And then they're going to want to set up the pendulum scales, and then they want to go. But
it's just a free plus.
You can see what happens.
It allows you to get sacrifice, and I don't know.
Yeah, you can get sacrifice too.
But I guess he just doesn't have anything, Dustin.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because he couldn't bring out a Dark Arm Dragon when he wanted to, unless. But
that warning was so good.
That warning was the big thing, the big change. Oh no, he's going to tribute for disc.
Game over.
So he tributes that carrier. He's going to pop a card and then sacrifice.
He's got nothing. He's just going to get 2 guys. Sacrifice gets the other half of the scale, and he's just going to pendulum summon.
Dustin kind of sees his championship kind of slip away from him now. Yeah. Obviously very unhappy. No, Ryan Nisker's gone. He had to leave.
Yeah.
So 2 helixes.
Peaced out.
So 2 helixes are coming out with the disc. So
he got the carrier with the sacrifice, correct?
I don't.
It's in the pendulum zone right now.
Perhaps yes, it is. So this is problematic now.
Because if he just pendulum summons, the game's over. It's already lethal. He's already got the 300.
Yeah, he's got the win on board already, but he's just doing that to ensure that he's got the victory, because even a core can't save him. And, yeah,
that's it. Handshake.
Unfortunately, Matt Vanity was able to take it, and it's just that warning was the big thing that took it out.
Cool. I'm gonna get Matt to come up here.
Sure.
And I'm gonna pause a match and get another match on screen.
Okay.
If one's still going.
If